Hey everyone, on today's episode we have a 2011 Honda Odyssey with us today. Original customer complaint was battery lights on, check charging system, and a noise coming from the engine bay. Yeah, so this is the noise that we're hearing. It sounds awfully similar to low power steering fluid, a little gurgling. Our original tests, we removed the belt, started the engine. It didn't have any noise whatsoever. So we checked the bearings, power steering, we checked alternator, tensioner, idler. We did notice that there is a bit of play from the tensioner bearings and the idler bearings, but the primary cause after using a stethoscope that we had was the rear bearing on the alternator was just howling. So we do have to change the alternator out. After we confirm, we're going to perform an AVR test, so we're going to test the alternator for output, see if it's just a bearing noise, check the battery and all that stuff, and if the alternator has failed after that, the output, then we're going to replace it and go from there. So we have the alternator removed now, just a little more easier to check it while it's outside of the car. We do have a small squeak when I rotate the pulley back and forth. But the reason why we were removing it is because our initial testing showed that we had an abnormal wavelength coming out of the alternator. It wasn't outputting at all. So now we have to input this new one, retest everything, and go from there. So the alternator is installed. The next step is to perform an AVR test to test the alternator output, check the wavelength one more time to confirm that the new alternator put in is still good, and confirm the customer complaint. So we just completed our AVR test. Currently, the new battery that the customer installed themselves is reading 858 CCAs over 640. So as expected, brand new battery is perfect. Starter draw is sitting at about 229 amps. Didn't drop below 11 volts though, so starter's not pulling too much amperage down on the battery. The main part though, when we originally did this, was the alternator output was not outputting at all. It was approximately 12.6 volts, just battery voltage. But the ripple in this area here was substantial. So the new one, no ripple whatsoever, outputting exactly where you want it. 14.6 to 14.7 volts is perfect. So the AVR test is good. Now the next step is to resecure all the engine covers and return the customer to the vehicle after making sure the radio code has been entered so the customer can use the radio properly, and hopefully they're really happy with it. Perfect.